Pyongyang may have jumped the gun on testing two ballistic missiles on the same day. Both ended in failure, but still drew stern international response. At an unscheduled National Security Council meeting, President Park warns North Korea of serious consequences if Pyongyang proceeds with the fifth nuclear test. Flash mobs in Brazil plan to combine their love for K-pop into a cheering squad for Team Korea at this summer's 2016 Rio Olympics. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Friday, April 29th. I'm Sean Lim. Pyongyang failed two ballistic missile tests on April 28th. Some say the North Korean regime is desperate to show some military prowess before its all-important Workers' Party Congress next month.
North Korea launched one mid-range ballistic missile Musudan from Wonsan, Gangwon Province at around 6:40 a.m. on April 28th. Later in the evening at 7:26 p.m., the North launched another missile. But both launches ended in failures. Sources say the first missile crashed just seconds after its launch, while the second missile exploded in midair after flying several kilometers. Pyongyang also launched a missile on April 15th to celebrate Kim Il-sung's birthday, but it exploded in the air. The South Korean military had presumed that it would take some time for the North to launch another missile, but Pyongyang decided to go on with additional launches and they all failed. Pyongyang apparently conducted missile launches without sufficient preparations as it was desperate to show off its missile capabilities ahead of the 7th Workers' Party Congress slated for May 6th. The Musudan missiles, deployed in 2007, are presumed to have a firing range of over 3,000 kilometers. They were apparently designed to strike not only Japan, but also U.S. military bases in Guam. Seoul said that the latest missile launches are in violation of the UN Security Council resolution which bans ballistic missile launches. Seoul has vowed to take additional measures.
Well, many, including the U.S. State Department, expect North Korea will conduct not only another missile test, but a nuclear test in the next week. In response to Pyongyang's increasing provocations, the UN Security Council convened for an urgent meeting.
The UN Security Council meeting Friday was requested by the United States and convened by Council Chair country China. Earlier, the South Korean government also made a request to the U.S. for the Security Council to be convened to respond to North Korea's latest missile launches. In the UNSC meeting, member nations agreed to adopt a press statement denouncing the North's Musudan missile launch and urging the regime to stop further provocation. Separately, a spokesperson for UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon also expressed deep concern over Pyongyang's back-to-back provocations.
Encourage the DPRK to cease any further provocative actions and return to full compliance of its international obligations.
The U.S. government has also forecast that North Korea's fifth nuclear test is certainly possible. U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Tony Blinken said during a Senate Foreign Relations Committee hearing Wednesday that it's certainly possible in advance of the Workers' Party Congress on May 6th that the regime will do another missile test or maybe even another nuclear test. Blinken stressed that South Korea, the U.S., and Japan were bolstering response efforts against the North's additional provocation and destabilizing behavior.
President Park Geun-hye also held an unscheduled meeting with her National Security Council over North Korea's recent missile tests. She warned that should North Korea move forward with a fifth nuclear test, the regime would have no future.
Presiding over an unscheduled National Security Council meeting, President Park Geun-hye sent a warning to North Korea by saying that if it conducts a fifth nuclear test, it will face unprecedented, more serious consequences.
만약 김정은 정권이 국제사회의 경고에도 불구하고 추가 핵실험을 감행할 경우에는 아마 미래는 없을 것입니다.
President Park stressed that Pyongyang might face even tougher sanctions, such as diplomatic isolation, and will eventually collapse on its own due to internal feuds. Park urged her administration to convene National Security Council meetings whenever necessary during her state visit to Iran, scheduled for next week, in order to be prepared for Pyongyang's provocations. Meanwhile, during an earlier cabinet meeting, the president said that corporations and creditors must take a lead in corporate restructuring in line with market principles, and called for expanding the capacity of state-run banks in advance so that they can provide more support. Regarding accidents caused by sterilizing agents used in air humidifiers, the president ordered relevant institutions to conduct a thorough investigation so that the victims can receive proper compensation.
Team Korea may get a boost from a cheering squad of K-pop fans at the Summer Olympics in Brazil. Already, Brazilian K-pop fans have organized flash mobs to wish for a successful Olympic Games.
Young Brazilians cheerfully dance to the sound of K-pop music. With just 100 days left until the Rio Olympics, K-pop fans held flash mobs in the cities of Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro to celebrate the Games. K-pop fans gathered here chose 3 songs and distributed the video of the songs' dance moves in preparation for the flash mob.
O Rio, tendo essa Olimpíadas, é uma oportunidade muito grande que a gente está tendo de divulgar, que aqui tem fã, de poder aproveitar eventos como esse para poder mostrar que a gente realmente gosta, que a gente quer isso aqui.
The fans, sporting T-shirts that read, "Love Korean Wave, Viva Korea," will root for Team Korea during the Rio Olympics. A group of 15 men and women who will lead the Viva Korea cheering squad also showed off creative cheering moves using K-pop choreography.
Através da dança e através do estilo que o K-pop propõe, aumenta a autoestima, é bom para a saúde dos jovens. Então vai ser bem legal.
Cheers by Brazilian K-pop fans are expected to be a great source of encouragement to Korean athletes who will compete in the Summer Games on the other side of the world.
One artist is creating unique sculptures from human sound waves. His art is intended to send the message of recognizing differences and living in harmony.
Sculptures dangling in midair emit colorful lights. They bend in and out, forming countless curves representing high and low pitches. The sculptures are based on the pronunciation of the word love in 14 languages. It's a visual representation of the unique waveforms of the human voice.
사랑이란 단어를 이렇게 음으로 표현을 한 게 되게 특이하다고 생각을 했고 색깔들 다 달라가지고 조명이 너무 예쁜 것 같아요.
Even when pronouncing the same word, each person's voice is unique. These sculptures portray sound waveforms through acrylic glass. These works of art encourage people to recognize and respect differences. The word love was pronounced in various languages by the spouses of foreign ambassadors to Korea.
이런 시각화를 통해서 우리가 중요하게 생각한 하나의 단어를 좀 오랫동안 좀 생각해보고 또 어떤 좀 의미를 새롭게 하고 이런 것들을 하면 좀 어떨까?
These sculptures that automatically light up when someone draws near spread the message that caring about one another can make the world a brighter place.
With growing interest in a career in the military, an increasing number of Korean female college students is seeking enlistment in the ROTC. But how much physical stamina does it take? We take you now to the scene of a physical tryout.
A sunny playground is filled with chanting and shouting. There is a physical examination any applicant seeking to join the Reserve Officers Training Corps must endure. They must do 63 sit-ups in 2 minutes. The first hurdle is far from easy going. They start out strong at first, but towards the end, they grit their teeth and do their best, but it's not easy.
이걸로 벌써 힘들면은 나중에 ROTC 어떻게 하나 이런 생각하면서 했습니다.
Continuing push-ups are also a stiff challenge. Their arms tremble from the beginning. The body doesn't follow the resolute mind. Here, a warm-up exercise is underway. The testies need to circle a 400-meter track 3 times within 5.5 minutes. The summer-like heat does not help either. They sweat heavily and are out of breath, but there is no giving up.
완주만 하자 이런 생각으로 끝까지 포기만 하지 말자 이런 생각으로 임했습니다.
The ROTC has gained recent popularity, and the number of recruits has grown to 290 this year, but the competition is growing more and more intense.
With advanced equipment used by Korean police to investigate crimes continuing to evolve, more foreign diplomats are showing interest in Korean investigation tools, which are becoming popular around the world.
This bus looks ordinary at first glance, but inside it's equipped with state-of-the-art devices. It's a mobile crime scene analysis lab that allows police officers to collect, analyze, and evaluate evidence all at once.
It's in KNPA. We can compare with each other and we can figure out who the suspect is.
These people are foreign diplomats from 33 countries who are stationed in Korea. They have a great interest in the advanced investigation equipment used by Korean police.
Paraguay is 4 times bigger than South Korea, and we need to cover some part of our territory. And this kind of equipment will be very useful.
The foreign diplomat showed particularly great interest in the montage system, which can create realistic montages based on the suspect's age, and the one-stop identification system, which enables police to identify suspects in just 5 minutes by using their fingerprints. Exports of Korean patrol cars and investigation equipment reach tens of thousands of US dollars annually. The biggest export markets are Central and South America, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East.
이제 30개 국가 이상을 대상으로 치안 협력 사업을 추진할 예정입니다. 외교 라인을 통해서도 우리 치안 협력이 더욱 활성화되는 그런 계기가 될 걸로 확신하고 있습니다.
The police plan to dispatch more police experts to various corners of the world as exports of investigation equipment are expected to surpass $100 million this year for the first time.
Thanks to advanced communication technology, UltraFast Internet connection is even possible on the far open sea. This Internet access is also expected to help prevent maritime accidents and speed up emergency response measures.
A passenger ship that departed Dodong Port in Ulleungdo Island smoothly cruises on a quiet sea as passengers rest in the cabin. Events taking place inside the vessel can be checked in real time on land throughout the duration of the journey, which spans 200 kilometers from Ulleungdo to port city Pohang. A fishing boat catching squid located some 100 kilometers from Ulleungdo Island also files a report through a video call. This is all thanks to a technology that has expanded the scope of LTE-level Internet use, currently available within 20 kilometers of a base station by as much as 5-fold.
고출력 안테나를 세우고 해상에서는 선내 이를 수용할 수 있는 중계기를 설치를 해서 해상 LTE 커버리지를 100km까지.
Even if you are far out in the sea, you can access ultra-fast internet in unlimited volume through a satellite. Information on deep-sea fishing vessels and container ships roaming across global waters can also be shared in Korea. Status on container storage can also be remotely monitored.
소형 기지국을 설치를 해서 이렇게 선내에 이렇게 선원들이 쓸 수 있는 그런 환경을 만드는 것이고요. 위성을 통해서 선내에 그 CCTV를 달아서 CCTV 화면이 위성을 통해서 이제 본사에 전달되어 가서.
As advanced communication technology has connected links between land and coastal and open seas, this is expected to greatly help prevent maritime accidents and related response measures.
Introducing the beauty of Korea's art overseas, an exhibition of Korean ceramic masterpieces is open in Paris. And the National Museum of Korea in Seoul is hosting an exhibition of stone axes from prehistoric times, which offers a glimpse into the significance that people of the Joseon Dynasty placed on the ancient relics. We bring you these stories in today's Cultural News. This is a ceramic piece in the shape of a warrior on horseback, which is said to remind Western people of Don Quixote. The elegance of the aristocratic upper classes culture was embodied in this jade-colored, refined ceramic piece from the Goryeo Kingdom era. The beauty of Korea is exemplified in this moon-shaped jar from the Joseon Dynasty era, which is white and round, but not to the degree of absolute perfection. An exhibition of 344 Korean ceramic masterpieces, including Korea's national treasures, has opened at Grand Palais in Paris.
Puis petit à petit, en plusieurs années, on est arrivé à cette idée de maturité que la céramique était la meilleure façon d'incarner l'esprit coréen.
An array of modern ceramicware, paintings, and video artworks inspired by the traditional ceramic relics are also on display.
전통이라는 것이 그 당시로 그냥 끊어지는 것이 아니라 지금까지 현대까지 계속 면면이 이어오고 있다는 것을 실물로서 작품으로서 보여준다는 것이 있고요.
Under the theme of Earth, Fire, and Spirit, the exhibition will run until June 20th. This is a Joseon-era painting depicting the god of Thunderbolt. Joseon-era people attached meanings of sacredness to stone axes frequently found in lightning-hit regions, calling them thunder axes of the god. According to the royal records of the Joseon Dynasty, a thunder axe was ground or boiled down as an edible cure for insane people. The records also said that the axes were used to protect children from evil spirits and help with quick delivery for pregnant women. So the relics were considered special and even presented to the king.
지배적인 사상에 따라서 당대 사람들이 그 사물을 바라보는 시각이 반영된 결과라고 하겠습니다.
The exhibition of prehistoric stone axes will run through early July, offering a glimpse into Joseon-era people's views on the world and ancient history. Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you again at the same time next week. Goodbye.